Thank you, Simon.
Simon is waiting for you.
I'd like an Atari 2600 system, please.
Although the gadget revolution kicked off in the 1940s and 50s, it was the 70s that truly marked the leap forward, making it the golden age of gadgets. Here are 20 gadgets from the 70s that every kid dreamed of having and potentially laid the groundwork for technology.
It's really cool. I just caught these with my Pocket Fisherman.
The Pocket Fisherman. Beginning the list with one of the most innovative gadgets, the Pocket Fisherman was designed to replicate traditional fishing gear, but it did more than just mimic the look of real fishing equipment. It provided an authentic experience for kids, making them feel like they were part of the adult fishing team. This sense of inclusion, combined with its innovative design, made it highly appealing and easy to market. As a result, the Pocket Fisherman quickly attracted many customers. The body of it was designed to be compact and easy to carry, and the concept of a mini fishing rod that could be taken anywhere captured the imagination of children and adults who wanted to enjoy fishing anytime, anywhere. In addition to its innovative design, it was a budget-friendly option for many working-class families in the 1970s, which made it even more appealing and practical, and it was priced at around $10 to $15. And if you're feeling like you missed out on this innovative product, well, don't worry. The Pocket Fisherman is still available with a current price of about $35. It may be your chance to fulfill that 70s dream that never quite came to be.
Simon is the challenge you've been waiting for because it takes coordination of hand and mind.
Simon Says. Up next is Simon, the iconic electronic memory game introduced in 1978 by Milton Bradley. It's no surprise it reached so many customers. Simon featured a circular device with 4 brightly colored buttons that lit up in a sequence, and players had to repeat to win. Simon captured the imagination of both children and adults with its simple yet captivating gameplay. It became famous for its challenging memory game mechanics combined with flashy lights and sounds. The gadget was designed to be straightforward and easily understood by everyone, regardless of their age. It featured 4 large buttons in red, green, blue, and yellow, and when the game began, Simon would light up the buttons in a specific sequence accompanied by corresponding sounds. The player's task was to repeat that sequence correctly. As the game made progress, the sequences became longer and more complex, and it had a clever twist. If the player made a mistake, it would abruptly end with a loud sound and a restart. The player would need to start over from the very beginning. The idea never died, but only gave birth to new adaptations, and while Simon remains an unforgettable classic, newer versions offer a glimpse of the original experience. Despite technological advancements, the original Simon has always stayed on top.
It's the Evil Coneval Show featuring Evil Coneval Scramble Van and revving up for action.
The Evil Coneval Stunt Cycle. Who wouldn't want to own a dynamic gadget that gives children the same level of excitement and adrenaline as actual jumps and stunts? Yes, here's another toy gadget that every adrenaline junkie kid dreamed of owning, the Evil Coneval Stunt Cycle. This stunt cycle carries a rich history behind its name. The Evil Coneval Cycle is named after the famous American stuntman Evil Coneval, whose real name was Robert Craig Coneval. Evil Coneval was a sensation back then, known for his daring motorcycle stunts, which included jumping over rows of cars, buses, and other obstacles. The toy would be designed to replicate stunts in a more safe way, and the rest is history. The Evil Coneval Stunt Cycle featured a motorcycle with Evil Knievel's flexible plastic figure seated on top, and the key component became the Energizer, a hand-cranked launcher that the motorcycle was placed into. After winding it up, the motorcycle would be released, zooming forward at a high speed and capable of performing jumps and wheelies, and it was safe for children. The success of the product led the company to re-release it with various updates and modifications, while also maintaining its authentic spirit throughout the decade. These carefully crafted designs allowed that product to remain evergreen, staying relevant and up-to-date in the market.
The all-pro version of the #1 electronic football game.
Hey, what's the difference?
Mattel Electronic Football. I'm sure the next one's going to give a major emotional flashback for most of you. I'm talking about one of the first handheld electronic games of the 70s, Mattel Electronic Football. Given its entry into the market, it quickly caught everyone's attention, from children to adults. In an era of toys and board games, the idea of a portable electronic game made it one of the most popular gadgets that people wanted to own. And just as we have games on our phones today, the concept of a pocket-sized entertainment has always occupied a special place in everyone's minds. Mattel Electronic Football featured a basic design with a small rectangular screen. The game used real LED lights to represent its players and the field, and the player controlled a running back who had to move up and down the field while avoiding defenders. The goal was to navigate past the defenders and score a touchdown. The game had some simple controls for moving the player and passing or kicking the ball, which included different levels of difficulty. It may sound simple, but it certainly required strategic thinking and quick reflexes, and the game was so addictive that children spent hours playing it, often sneaking in late-night sessions under the covers.
Lico with 3 different games. Telstar Tennis with digital scoring, variable.
Pong. Now we're about to explore one of the earliest arcade games. Created by Alan Alcorn, it was a training exercise assigned by Atari co-founder Nolan Bushnell. Bushnell and Atari co-founder Ted Dabney were so impressed with the quality of the work, they decided to manufacture the game. Not only did they create the game, but they also made decades of cherished memories. Pong was a simple yet addictive game that quickly gained popularity not only in the United States but all around the world. It paved the way for today's video game industry, and its immense success launched the video game industry, becoming one of the finest forms of entertainment. The working of Pong was uncomplicated, given that it's a two-dimensional sports game simulating table tennis. It featured 2 paddles and a ball. Players controlled those paddles using the dials or levers, moving them up and down to hit the ball back and forth across the screen. The objective was to score points by making the ball pass the opponent's paddle. The game continues until a player reaches a predetermined score. The original version had knobs or dials to control the paddles. The graphics were simple, yet it was straightforward, and easily became everyone's favorite budget-friendly way to pass the time.
Speak and spell from Texas Instruments. That is correct. With snap-in module.
Speak and Spell. The appearance of Speak and Spell in the movie E.T. made it even more popular. A marketing strategy played a vital role in promoting the product. The Speak and Spell used a form of speech synthesis to pronounce the words, which was cutting-edge technology for the time. This technology made the game not only educational, but also innovative and engaging. Some children found their own kind of fun by making swear words. Besides that, it paved the way for major technological advancements of the era. The TMS 5100 chip used in the Speak and Spell became a standard of early speech synthesis technology, influencing later developments in voice-activated devices and educational toys. It had a keyboard with letters and numbers, and children would type in words or complicated spelling challenges, and the Speak and Spell would pronounce those words out loud, providing feedback and corrections. It included various educational games and activities that were designed to reinforce spelling and language skills.
Out here we entertain ourselves at home, so we got an Atari video game. There's so many different games.
The Atari 2600. Finding gadgets to fulfill your childhood dream might sound practical and feasible, but purchasing this particular one could be a challenge due to the discontinuation in the early 1980s. I'm talking about one of the most influential home video game consoles in the history of gaming, the Atari 2600. Developed and marketed by Atari Incorporated, the Atari 2600 was a revolutionary invention which brought significant change to the home gaming industry. It was one of the first consoles to use interchangeable cartridges, allowing users to play a variety of games on a single system. With a broad and diverse game library which included iconic titles like Pong, Space Invaders, and Asteroids, its affordable cost attracted a huge base of consumers regardless of their age.
Some like to play at tic-tac-toe, others can test their skill at echo.
Merlin. Merlin was invented by Parker Brothers in 1978 and became widely popular, so much so that it sold 5 million units in its initial run. It featured a series of LEDs arranged in a grid which were used to display game information and responses. It operated on a simple microchip, allowing it to run different game modes and offered players 6 different games. The device had a grid of buttons for selecting game modes and inputting commands, and featured a speaker for sound effects and game alerts. Remember the tone it produced when you pressed all the buttons together? Well, if you do, let me know in the comments below.
Light bright, turn on the magic of colored light. Light bright.
Light Bright. One of the most classic light-up art toys was Light Bright, a creative toy which allowed children to make colorful designs by inserting tiny, brightly colored pegs into a light-up board. They originally marketed it by producing a light box with small colored plastic pegs that fit on a panel and illuminated to create a lit picture by using either one of the included templates or making a free-form image on a blank sheet of black paper. It offered customers multiple pegs in all kinds of different colors, and even if they were lost or damaged, Hasbro would provide refills for new colors. To stay competitive, they made various changes in production, and over the years it's been offered in different forms, including a flat-screen version, touchscreen, 3D cube, and more. Additionally, they've kept prices relatively stable despite inflation, which has helped to maintain a consistent customer base.
For aspiring young professional wrestlers, there is the Stretch Armstrong doll.
Stretch Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong's an action figure shaped as a short, muscular man with blonde hair, wearing black trunks, and as the name suggests, he could be stretched, pulled, and twisted in all kinds of directions just to return to the original shape and size. It could be stretched up to about 4 or 5 feet, and if a tear developed, it could be fixed with an adhesive bandage. The Stretch Man idea, as it was called, was pursued with 2 different bodies in mind, one of a sumo wrestler and the other of an all-American blonde hunk. But the first design of the sumo wrestler didn't gain much traction because it was too bulky and large. And so, the model maker Richard Dobeck created a new mold for an all-American body type. The resin model was sent to a doll manufacturer, and the first bodies were made by dipping them in latex. The upgraded version is tough and durable, holding up perfectly, despite what children put the toy through.
Battleship, a great game of strategy, action, and suspense.
Miss H6.
Electronic Battleship. In an era of emerging electronic gadgets, Electronic Battleship held its own alongside various other devices in the market. One of the finest blends of cutting-edge technology and traditional board game strategy. The game is played by 2 people, typically on a ruled grid paper board, which each player's fleet of warships is marked. The locations of those fleets are concealed, and the other players take alternate turns guessing shots at the other player's ships with the objective of destroying the opposing player's fleet. Historically, the game is said to have been played by Russian officers and the French during World War I, and in 1907, playing the game was mentioned in the diary of a Russian poet. The first commercial version of the game was Salvo, published in 1931 in the United States. The modern version evolved with technological developments, but the rules have remained consistent throughout the years. Pulsar. One of the early electronic games that combined physical and electronic elements was Pulsar. Already quite competitive in the market, given the 70s had everything from growing food chains to technology. But it made its way through the critical market situation with its unique lights and sounds to enhance the gaming experience. It's a maze shooter arcade game where the player controls a tank in a top-down view maze to fetch keys used to unlock the next level. They have to move the tank through the maze to reach each colored key and transport them one by one to the matching colored lock. The color of the tank changes according to the color of the key. A constant change in the maze's pattern made it unpredictable, and walls would appear and disappear at regular intervals to make people hooked on the game. 3 kinds of enemies moved on their own, shooting at the tank when it was in a direct line, and fuel could only be replenished when the player destroyed the enemies.
Hold it. Click. Thank you.
Camera. She wants a Kodak pocket camera.
Kodak Pocket Instamatic. Now let's take a different turn and talk about how this gadget made it easy for everyone to tap into their inner photographer. The Kodak Pocket Instamatic was introduced by Kodak in the 70s, a compact and user-friendly camera designed to make photography accessible by everyone. It attracted many users. The innovative advancement was a significant leap forward, and they designed their camera to be compact and portable, allowing people to carry it effortlessly everywhere they went. While it didn't produce instant prints like Polaroids, the Kodak Pocket Instamatic utilized Kodak's 126 film cartridges, which simplified the loading process and made developing easier compared to traditional roll film. It may even make you want to check out your old photo memories. Big Wheel. Next up is the Big Wheel, a staple of 70s ride-on toys renowned for its large front wheel and sturdy plastic design. The design was considered more safe than any traditional tricycle, which naturally led to Big Wheel sales exceeding expectations, especially since it was affordable and fit easily into most budgets. It made the ride comfortable and thrilling for kids, perfect for neighborhood races, and remains a nostalgic item for many who grew up in the 70s, and certainly one of the finest collector's items.
Kenner's Betty Crocker Easy Bake Mini Wave Oven. Preheat 15 minutes, light bulb not included.
Here's what you can make in it.
The Easy Bake Oven. Little bakers and aspiring chefs needed recognition, and the Easy Bake Oven delivered. Introduced by Kenner in the early 60s, this was one of the first products of its kind, a kid-friendly design which allowed children to bake small cakes and treats with ease, giving them a real-time baking experience. The Easy Bake Oven was heavily marketed on TV, making it a must-have toy for kids who were eager to replicate the baking they saw adults doing. But the idea of buying each ingredient separately was seen as inefficient, and it fell out of favor.
Who'd have thought I'd bought a rock?
Pet Rock. Children love having a pet, whether it be a dog, a cat, or others, but a little off the norm, the Pet Rock became wildly popular in the 70s. It was literally a rock marketed as a low-maintenance pet and packaged in a custom cardboard box with breathing holes, accompanied by a humorous care manual. While companies were busy developing revolutionary technological ideas, the Pet Rock stood out for its simplicity and silliness. Would you bring the Pet Rock back again? Let me know in the comments below.
Name is the Snoopy Snow Cone Machine. You put ice cubes in and get a snow cone.
Snoopy Snow Cone Machine. Flavored ice treats at home? Sounds perfect for summer. The Snoopy Snow Cone Machine capitalized on the popularity of Snoopy and the Peanuts comic strip, leading to a massive following in the 1970s. Children were drawn to the character, making the machine an instant hit. The Snow Cone Machine allowed kids to make their own snow cones at home, keeping them busy and creative, and it was named one of the 100 best toys in history by Time magazine. Designed to resemble Snoopy's iconic red doghouse, Snoopy was perched on top, and the machine came with a plastic shovel and paper cuts for serving the snow cones.
Fred, give us that stick in 3D. They're being kidnapped.
The Viewmaster. The 3D experience during the 70s was rare, but the Viewmaster had it all and let users experience images using special reels of film. Although it was originally introduced in the late 30s, popularity surged in the 70s. The reels often featured educational content, including scenes of nature, events, and travel destinations, which made it both entertaining and informative, appealing to parents who wanted to combine fun and learning. However, they also began to include popular themes like Peanuts characters and Disney films to attract customers from every base.
14 solar collectors convert light into electronic energy. 9 mathematical functions with
the HP 65. Hewlett-Packard introduced one of the first programmable calculators available to the general public in the HP 65, a pocket-sized calculator where users could do calculations based on a stored program, providing results quickly and accurately. The LED display showed numerical results and programming instructions, allowing users to monitor their calculations and programming steps. It was generally used by professionals and advanced users, including engineers, scientists, and business people, and was less of a consumer gadget and more of a specialized tool with those for technical needs. No wonder it was close to $1,000 back then.
You'll stock car racing into your own backyard with Tyco radio control, or bring home the speed.
The remote control car. Now let's talk about the remote control car. Among the first to feature radio-controlled technology, these allowed kids to operate from a distance. The term RC stands for both remote control and radio control. The freedom the kids experienced with full control in their hands made the cars incredibly popular, and the ease of operation led them to create their own racetracks and imagine themselves in races. Who knows, this might have even inspired some to pursue car racing as a career. Which of these toys brought back the memories for you, and what do you want to dig out of your old treasures? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.